All right, let's get right into this. We're looking at a truly chilling mystery from a village called Haradaspur, a place that was absolutely paralyzed by a series of unthinkable crimes. Crimes that were happening right under everyone's noses, inside their very own homes. So, here's how we're going to unfold this incredible story. We'll start with the terrifying secret that gripped the village, then follow a desperate plea for justice. We'll dive into a brilliant undercover plan, witness the night of reckoning, reveal the horrifying truth, and finally, see how justice was delivered for Haridaspur. Our story kicks off in what seems like any other ordinary village, Haridaspur. But, lurking just beneath that quiet surface was a secret so bizarre and so unthinkable, it had planted this deep, unspoken dread in everyone, especially in families with young daughters. At the very heart of this mystery is one number, 16. That was the number of young, unmarried women in this village who had, without any explanation, become pregnant. It threw the entire community into a complete state of panic. I mean, how on earth was this even possible?
You have to understand, the fear was so real that people were taking the most extreme precautions. They were locking their doors, barring their windows. Entire families were sleeping together in one single room just to protect their daughters. And yet, it kept happening. It defied all logic, and it was fueling this terrifying idea that maybe, this wasn't human at all.
To really get a sense of the personal toll here, let's look at the story of a girl named Gudiya. When the 16-year-old got sick, her father, Sham Singh, rushed her to a doctor. And the diagnosis, it was just devastating. She was pregnant. For Sham, it was impossible. His daughter never, ever left the house without supervision. In an instant, his family's honor was destroyed, and his daughter's future was shattered. With his entire world just collapsing around him, and with zero answers in the village, a completely broken Sham Singh realizes he has only one option left. He has to get help from the outside, from someone who can somehow solve this impossible mystery. So he travels all the way to the city, and he takes his case straight to the top, to the superintendent of police, Renuka Chaudhary. Now, S.P. Chaudhary's reputation was legendary. She was known for being tough, absolutely brilliant, and for solving the kinds of cases that no one else would even touch.
At first, you can imagine, S.P. Chaudhary is skeptical. I mean, a village where girls are becoming pregnant without any explanation? It sounds like something out of folklore. But when Sham Singh tells her it's not just his daughter, but 15 others, well, her focus sharpens immediately. She knows this is one of two things: a case of mass delusion or a crime so incredibly clever it seems supernatural.
So S.P. Chaudhary does what you'd expect. She immediately sends a police team to Haridaspur. They search the whole village, they inspect the homes, they talk to everyone, and they find absolutely nothing. Zip. No signs of forced entry, no clues, no suspects. Standard procedure had completely failed. And that's when she decides to take a massive risk and handle this herself. She comes up with this daring 3-step plan. See, she figures that to find the truth, she can't go in as a cop. She needs to be totally invisible. So she's gonna go undercover as a helpless beggar, get inside the village, and just watch what happens when the sun goes down. She's convinced the answer can only be found from the inside.
And just like that, the district's most respected police officer, she just vanishes. In her place is a woman in tattered clothes, messy hair, a weary look on her face. She walks into Haridaspur, and in this incredible twist of fate, she goes to the home of Sham Singh, the very man who begged her for help, and asks for shelter for the night. And he, of course, has absolutely no idea who she is.
As night falls, a tense silence just blankets the village as everyone locks themselves inside. Renuka, still in her disguise, pretends to fall asleep on a cot near the door of the house. But really, every single one of her senses is on fire. This is it. The real investigation is about to begin. At the stroke of midnight, she slips out into the deserted, pitch-black streets. Moving like a ghost, her instincts are pulling her towards this old, ruined building on the edge of the village, something she'd clocked when she arrived earlier that day.
Hiding in the shadows, she sees 2 men stumbling out of the ruins. And this, right here, is the breakthrough. She watches as one of them scales a compound wall, then drops down on the other side to open the main gate for his partner. The whole mystery of the locked doors, it was a misdirection. They weren't breaking into the houses, they were getting into the compounds first.
Renuka waits. It's about a half hour later when the two men emerge. As they try to slip back into the darkness, she steps out, her revolver aimed right at them. They just laugh, seeing this helpless beggar, and that's when she fires a warning shot into the air. The sound just shatters the silence and wakes up the entire village.
As the stunned villagers come pouring out of their homes, including a completely shocked Shyam Singh, she reveals her true identity. You have to imagine the scene. The beggar they all pitied is now holding two criminals at gunpoint and announcing that she's the superintendent of police. Everyone is just speechless. Back at the station, the two men are interrogated. At first, they deny everything, of course, but under the intense pressure of SP Chaudhry's questioning, they finally break. They confess to everything. And the truth? The truth is so much more horrifying than anyone could have ever imagined. So let's break down their chillingly effective method. After getting inside the compound walls, they would spray a potent chemical through the windows. And this is the key to the entire mystery. The spray wasn't just a sleeping gas, it was probably a sedative agent that caused temporary paralysis and amnesia. That's why no one ever woke up, why no one heard a single thing, and why the victims had no memory of the assault. They were operating while entire families slept just feet away, completely helpless. While the revelation sends absolute shockwaves through Haridhaspur, the mystery that had haunted them for so long was finally solved, but the truth brought a whole new kind of pain. The community now had to grapple with the fact that this wasn't some ghost. It was a calculated human evil that had violated the very safety of their homes. The case is sent to a fast-track court, and with the criminals' full confessions and the mountain of evidence, the trial is swift. The verdict is decisive. Both men are found guilty and sentenced to spend the rest of their lives in prison, making sure they can never, ever harm anyone again. SP Chaudhary returns to Haridhaspur a hero. She's greeted by a village that is finally free from the fear that had crippled it for so long. And she leaves them with this powerful message. You know, this case wasn't just solved by a brilliant officer. It all started because one father refused to stay silent. It's a powerful reminder that even when you're facing unimaginable evil, one person's courage really can be the spark that lights the way to justice.